Morning. Big headline to kick us off. The White House just signed an executive order blocking a semiconductor transaction and ordering divestment. Short version, a Delaware company called HieFo bought assets from Emcore, and the administration says HieFo is controlled by a citizen of the People's Republic of China. The deal was small, roughly $2.9 million, but now it's being unwound on national security grounds.
Good morning. Yep, that's the one. It sounded obscure at first because the deal flew under the radar when announced, but the White House released an order in early January saying there's credible evidence of Chinese control, and that's enough under the National Security Review to block and force divestment.
So the headline is dramatic, but the public details are sparse. The order didn't name the individual it says is behind HieFo, nor did it lay out specifics about what exactly threatens security.
Exactly. That's where transparency questions come in. From a technical standpoint, semiconductors are strategic. Even a small asset can be meaningful if it touches specialized manufacturing, sensitive IP, or supply chains. The administration is signaling higher scrutiny of any foreign-controlled deals in the chip sector, even modest ones.
Right. And that's the short read. Let's unpack why the government would take a deal this small so seriously.
Let's get into policy. Why would the administration prioritize this, and what legal tools are they using?
They're using executive authority tied to national security reviews of foreign investments and transactions. The core concern is not just ownership on paper, but potential access, control, or influence that could allow technology transfer, data exfiltration, or supply chain manipulation. Even smaller transactions can be flagged if they intersect with sensitive capabilities.
Is this an unusual use of power? Feels like an escalation.
It's notable primarily because of the deal's size and the public nature of the order. In recent years, the U.S. has steadily ramped scrutiny on Chinese-linked investments in sensitive sectors, so it's consistent with the longer trend, but making a small $2.9 million deal a headline move certainly tightens the signal to the market. Even small bets in chips are subject to policy risk.
How might this affect future deal-making?
Expect more diligence, conditioning, and possibly preemptive filings. Buyers and targets will need clearer compliance roadmaps, and lawyers and bankers will factor in potential forced unwind scenarios. In short, transaction costs and timeline uncertainty go up. That chills deals, but it's intentional from a security posture standpoint.
From an industry perspective, how worried should chip makers and startups be? Is this a micro issue or a systemic one?
Both, honestly. Micro, because this specific transaction was small and may have involved niche assets. Systemic, because semiconductors are globally interdependent. Design, fabrication, equipment, materials. Any policy that restricts foreign participation can bottleneck funding, slow cross-border partnerships, and influence where firms locate IP and manufacturing.
So a startup in the U.S. with overseas investors could suddenly find itself under the microscope.
Exactly. Investors from jurisdictions flagged as adversarial could create headaches. That could push startups to seek domestic funding, or at least clearer governance structures that limit foreign control. On the positive side, it might spur more onshore manufacturing and secure supply chain investments. On the flip side, it could fragment global collaboration that the industry has relied on.
Sounds like trade-offs. Security versus efficiency and capital access.
That's the trade-off. Policymakers want to protect know-how and critical capacity. Industry wants scale and capital. Where they meet will define the next wave of semiconductor strategy.
Okay, last segment. What should listeners watch for in the coming weeks and months?
First, watch for details. Whether the administration releases more information about the alleged controller or the precise security concerns. That could set precedent. Second, expect policy responses, either legislative clarifications on foreign investment reviews or changes in guidance for companies and investors. Third, watch industry reaction, new clauses in acquisition agreements, more escrow or governance mechanisms, or a pullback from certain investors.
And for engineers and founders out there, any practical advice?
Keep governance transparent. Maintain clear records of funding sources and control structures. If you're working on sensitive tech, talk to counsel early about potential filings or mitigation measures. Don't let posture ruin the product roadmap. plan for compliance as part of product strategy.
Good practical note. Treat compliance as a feature, not a bug. Also, a reminder, even small transactions can have outsized consequences these days. We'll keep tracking this as more details come out.
Agreed. And if nothing else, the story is a reminder that chips remain central to security and geopolitics and to our coffee-fueled lives. Want to commiserate over a chip shortage next week?
Only if you supply the coffee. Thanks for the clarity. And thanks to our listeners. We'll be back with updates as they arrive. The preceding audio summary was created at jesterengine.com, where you can find and verify the original sources.